Previously on Describe Your Kill.
Right, Aaron, what's going on here?
He gets up and he answers the door, absolutely butt naked.
Which one of you has eaten any of the food here?
How are you feeling today? I don't feel good, and I dare say Aaron's worse off than I am.
Whatever this condition is, might have some sort of fiendish sauce.
I think I know exactly what's fucking done this. It was, I want to say, Boney M.
To diagnose both myself and Lupin with Ferragon tetanus.
You all step through the portal. Want to describe what you see, Aaron?
Oh, it's a full aviary.
What do you think you're doing here? Who are you? It's going to be time to roll for initiative.
Yeah. I don't want to go to school today, Mother. Ahoy hoy, hello everyone and welcome to episode 11 of the Describe Your Kill podcast, The Death of Destiny. I'm Jason, the voice behind the fastest gun and quickest quips in Galarion, Lupin Malus, and I just wanted to jump in to say a quick thank you to all our listeners who've come on the journey with us so far. Whether you've been with us since episode 1, or whether you've just discovered us and are currently binging your way through the backlog, we're super pleased to have you along with us, and we'd love chatting with you all, particularly on the Discord server. If you fancy getting involved and finding out about niche German insults, cosplaying film noir detectives in our underpants, and Chris occasionally exploding mine and Craig's phones with notifications, head on over to describeyourkill.com and hit the button for your social media of choice. But that's enough chat. Let's get on with the show and episode 11, Monkey Business.
Ho, 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 jingle bells, it's Christmas! Hello, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Humbug.
We are but a few days away from Christmas.
Good to see everybody dressed up.
Everyone feeling festive? Chris, you are looking very festive this evening.
Yeah, got my new Deadpool crazy Christmas jumper. And
Is it what new 2023 edition?
2023 edition, and it says I'm on the naughty list.
You're on the naughty
There we
list.
go. I'm on the naughty list.
Jason, what does your
old.
Christmas jumper say?
It says fuck you.
Very good. We are but a few days away from Christmas. So I want to see if there's any weird Christmas traditions that we might have. This is episode 11. Can you believe it? 11 weeks of this nonsense.
We've nearly left breakfast.
We've made it through the first portal.
Yeah, to be fair, stuff is happening now.
Stuff is
For
happening.
real.
Pretty sure in the forums people have finished book 1 within 11 sessions. Not us, though. Not us.
Don't be silly. Don't be silly.
If there was an opportunity to drag out any social encounter, there was no better podcast than that.
There's no better Jason. I mean, come on. I mean,
Excuse me, Mr. Malachi spending 3/4 of an hour negotiating the price of the fucking inn. And then
I was willing to take
absolutely
8
nowhere.
hours. I was willing to take 8 hours to find some.
I've got a home in every port.
Once again, spiraling.
Christmas. Chris, most aptly named for this discussion. You got any weird West Country Christmas traditions?
Not
in
quite
your,
West Country. Cotswolds,
in your house?
darling. Cotswolds.
What's Christmas like in the Bar household?
It's all focused around the children, really, now. They tend to open our presents.
Open your presents.
Well, yeah, they do. Yeah, they love opening my presents. But often I've already bought all of my presents anyway, spending hundreds of pounds on various different things. before
Yourself
Christmas.
or
Yeah,
the others?
yeah. I don't, yeah.
What's on Chris's Christmas list this year then?
Oh, I do quite a lot of virtual biking, so I was looking at like a climber for that. So
What is virtual biking?
it's my bike on a turbo. And you play it like a game.
Is
but
it
you're
any
doing the
excuse to
pedaling.
not go outside? That's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
basically. Yeah, it was a lot of training for the triathlons and bike races that I used to do.
I believe they had that on Wii Sports.
How are the Nexus mods for this biking sim?
Oh, there's some nasty ones for that.
Spice it up.
When I
There's
was
a mod
younger,
that just removes the saddles.
I used to when I was younger, when I was but a wee burn. We used to go to midnight mass after going to the pub, rather inebriated. Get home at about 1:30. Try and see Santa, obviously, but he'd already been or
Wait,
had yet to be.
how old were you when you were doing
18,
this?
Like 24, 24,
I was going to
25.
say, yeah. So
I was of
you were
age,
going
I
to
was
the
of
pub,
age.
getting drunk, and then coming over and trying to see Santa.
That's how they do it in the Cotswolds. How they do it.
Fucking hardest
and then-
freaking 6-year-old in Bristol.
The longer I know you, the more questions I have, Chris.
Jason, what about the Jones household? What's your Christmas? Any weird Christmas traditions?
No, I'm going to be really disappointing here. We don't really... We're not that big into Christmas. Is very much the bar humbug is I end up doing the breakfast, presents get opened, etc., etc.
Not only does he role play breakfast, he does it in real life too.
This is why I keep
What a
role playing. I just
dedicated
spend
man.
every day is practice.
Dedicated to breakfast.
Yeah, not a big Christmas household, this one.
Anything on your Christmas list?
No, I'm looking at some dice at the moment. There's a very nice set of dice I've got my eye on that are due to drop in a couple of days' time. So I'm currently fighting the temptation to buy them. I know I will crumble about 30 seconds after they go live. So I'm just working out how best to justify that to my better half, and how to avoid the words "how much" when I do ask.
Are they 20-sided dice, but every side says 20 on them?
Do you know what? Those are incredibly
mine.
difficult to get hold of.
We call it a Craig Perry dice.
Yeah, I genuinely, a former player in this group who had a phenomenal habit of rolling 1s or 20s, nothing in between, just 1s
Yep.
or 20s. I tried to get him for his birthday a D20 with all 1s on it. Cannot get it anywhere. You genuinely cannot get them anywhere.
That's a gap in the market.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, I'm going to cut
Yeah.
that bit out because we might need to do a Kickstarter for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, look at that T-shirt.
Matty, anything? What's your Christmas looking like?
But yeah, I'm not super big on Christmas because I've often lived away. So my Christmases in the city has been spent with like different friends that will host the various ragamuffins like me.
Mhm.
And you know, as a vegan as well, it's I know.
Reveal!
There's-
Big
no,
reveal!
I know. My token just got bigger. No,
That's why you
Smaller.
look Ashen.
smaller.
Just lost 80% of
That's why
viewership.
you look Ashen.
That's why I look Ashen. No protein.
That's good. That's good, Chris.
So yeah, it's
Naturally fail all fortitude saves.
naturally, yeah, it's a vegan muck Christmas.
Come on, what about German Christmas? Do you have a different date? Do you?
I mean, I'm not sure. I mostly celebrate with my Greek family, so it's.
Ooh, so it is a different
but
date.
No, it's still. I mean, technically, yeah, but no, because we still celebrate on 24th. So
I did quite a few Christmases in Austria, and big Christmas is always the 24th, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like that's the main sort of day.
yeah.
So it is a different date, Kimon. I
is
don't know
it
if you know,
different
but
with you?
we 25th
25th.
here,
25,
Kimon.
yeah.
You fucking weirdos.
You're just too eager there in
Why-
the Deutschland.
Do you have the Christkind? Is that a thing in
I mean,
Germany, or is that an Austrian
some
thing?
do. It's basically like there's a civil Cold War happening perpetually between the
Here we go. Strap in, right? This is today's episode.
between the Christkind
And
men
yeah,
and the common Santa believers, and
Yeah.
it's
and where does Krampus come into this mix?
everywhere. Over the last 20 years or so, there's been many casualties.
What? I don't. So what? What do the Christkins believe in?
So the Christkind is like a fairy, right? Like
It's like
instead of Santa bringing the presents, she comes in and rings a little bell, and she's
No,
like,
it's like Jesus, like baby Jesus coming over, breaking in, and it's like Santa, but instead of an old man coming into your home, it's a flying baby.
Right. This is the Christkind
Yes.
yeah.
versus what? Who's
Santa.
the baby?
Just-
So it's
Fight!
Round 1. Finish him.
And then Krampus is the referee.
Yeah,
Obviously.
basically, yeah. Obviously. What else would he be?
I was getting worried that this segment would have no spice to it, but we've suddenly solved the equation yet again with a flying Jesus baby and Santa.
I can't believe you guys don't have this. It's
I think we
common
should.
sense to have this. Do you guys also do that weird stocking thing, or is that an American?
We do the stockings. We do
What the
stockings.
fuck?
Come down for Christmas morning in stockings and garter belts, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna. So, what I'm hearing is, I'm gonna buy a plane ticket for 2 a.m. on December 25th to celebrate a second Christmas in the UK.
That's it, baby.
Nice.
Imagine playing Pathfinder Christmas Day. You've sacked off your family and your loved ones. You've killed the flying baby. Santa has been fatality to the corner. Kimone's on a plane. And we meet up and we play some Pathfinder.
Flying home for Christmas.
There is. I would ask you not to look it up if you haven't already, but there is a Pathfinder creature that is canon. I'm just going to look him up now, quickly. Pretty sure Krampus exists in the
I was
Pathfinder
going to say,
universe.
I've heard something about something Krampus related, but I wasn't sure if that was Pathfinder or I'd got that confused with another system.
Yeah, no, he is there. I'd ask you not to look him up, mainly because Malachi, for his cheating last week, will be facing the level 21 creature later
On
in tonight's
Christmas
show.
Day. Excellent.
Armed only with his mother's
Thanks for
skull.
that.
I will tell you now, he's got an ability, it's a one-action ability called Punish the Naughty. And if that's not a good ability, I don't know what is.
Incredible.
I
Good
like it.
stuff.
Like it.
It has come to that time of the night, boys. Pathfinder awaits. So last week was an interesting one. We spent a lot of time nude. That's the first takeaway I got from it. A lot of nudity in last week's episode, and a lot of time trying to solve the Ferrigan tetanus that you eventually kind of discerned. I just kind of wanted to quickly ask you, Jason, you're obviously quite annoyed about the fact that you didn't know the reset time on the check. I'm wondering if you've mellowed on that slightly in the last week, or you're still adamant.
It still bugs me somewhat. It's just, again, it's one of those ones, not knowing makes it very, very difficult to... It makes the use of consumables very, very difficult.
Does.
Considering the price of a lot of consumables, especially once you start to factor in sort of mid to higher level ones, it can be quite frustrating. Is like, right, well, I've got this thing that is absolutely, that I bought specifically for this scenario, and yet I have absolutely no idea when I can use it.
To be fair, every one of us failed the check to identify it, so it's on us.
I understand the frustration, but equally, had you passed the check, you would have known when to use those consumables.
Yeah.
We are currently in the Deadshot lands. And of course, you were set upon by these Methanian Tengu soldiers and their leader firing these spear launchers at you. You met Skornak, the Tengu guy who couldn't speak common until we realized that he could speak common.
Sorry, could you spell that name maybe?
Skornak, yes, it's Skawnak. Skornak.
Thank you very much.
Skornak. And his little group of Tengu raiders who were surprised by your sudden appearance through the portal, but told you that they were behind enemy lines and that they needed to cross the Great Plains in order to get back to their base with this cache of weapons and supplies that they had managed to steal from the Methanians who terrorized this place, this ongoing war on the continent of Arcadia. Thousands of miles from Galarian, thousands of miles from your own understanding of what life must be like here.
Wouldn't it be funny if we just accidentally killed the good guys?
Murder hobo, I believe, is the phrase used quite often. Had you come through and started swinging at the poor defenseless level
who knows?
3.
Maybe they are the bad guys.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We've just been fooled, yeah.
And you attacked, but very handily dispatched of these. You did take a couple of good hits. How's everyone's hit points looking? Lupin took a couple of smashes.
Yeah, I'm about a third health. I took a good few solid hits.
Nearly 100 hit points down, yeah. Anyone else looking commode?
Doing good.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Doing good. Still at over 100.
We don't know. Malachi's still cowering under a pile of rocks, so we don't know what his HP is like.
I came out of hiding. We're good.
Cool use of the orchestra spell. Cool use of Aaron's 50-foot. I can't remember what that one was called.
It was the Shadow Blast, I think. Had a line effect, and got to try out my new teleportation spell as well.
Which
Sure
was
did.
Very,
Very
very
nice.
helpful.
That was really cool. Yeah. Kimone, this is the amount of love that I have for you. It's that I've had to build a custom armor tracker spreadsheet. And I'm currently in process of building an automation where I can basically add a character to a fake encounter within my spreadsheet. And then if you hit me, I can just type in the damage and it will do all the math for me.
Watch me replace my acid rune with another one later.
Listeners, that will be our top tier Patreon when that comes. That will be the really expensive for all my
Access to my spreadsheet.
You defeated them quite handily, and Skornak had ushered his Tengus into the woods. So when you came through, you obviously, Aaron took the lead and was discussing, we're not here to hurt you. We don't know why we're here. You didn't tell him about the cards, and then you were set upon.
Well, we said we were artifact hunters, is kind of what I'd indicated to him. We don't think we explicitly mentioned anything about the cards, but
You definitely
I don't
didn't.
think
no.
so.
I said we were like we were seeking a magical artifact, and that's why we'd come through.
So when our heroes came into this map, they were in a kind of clearing under these trees. There was a dead tree laid across, forming a kind of natural barrier. And then before them were this vast expanse of glimmering green grasses spread out thousands of feet in front of them. And Skornak had said to you as the combat finished, goes, "You must get back to us now, please. You must return. The skies are dangerous." Over to you.
Skornak, why are the skies dangerous?
Why are the skies dangerous? Because of the demons. I'm assuming you have no knowledge of this place whatsoever.
You'd be right, yeah.
Lupin will he's somewhat away from the barricade at the moment, having been teleported out into the middle of the fight. So he'll be sort of hobbling his way back towards the main group.
Are these demons, are they like the ones that we've just fought, or?
Those were Tengu, Malachi.
Oh, were they Tengus? Oh, sorry.
Yes, they're not.
They
demons.
looked a bit demonized, though.
They did have wings, Malachi. I'm proud of you for noticing.
I don't actually know if they had fly speeds. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I don't think Tengu can
I
fly.
don't think they
no.
do.
No.
I love the idea that anything that isn't a human is a demon to Malachi.
Wait, they don't even have wings! Malachi, you fuckwit.
We can very
You're
clearly
not even
see
near
that
this conversation.
Skornak has fingers.
How long has this war been going on, then?
This war has been happening for many years. Many years. We fight. We win. We lose. Such is the way.
What are you fighting over?
The land, of course. The land. These lands are ruled by the wind-born theocrats. They use the Mavanians. They use the avian demons to assert control, to exert their power. We fight back when we can. We take their weapons. We raid them. We are higher in number than they, but they are stronger. And they fight us, usually from the skies. You fought well, heroes. You fought well.
Yes, I'd like to say the same for you, but it appears that most of your army is currently cowering in the trees. I can understand why the numerical advantage doesn't appear to be working for you today.
We are level 4.
Fair enough.
Although one of my party is wearing level 18 armor, and I feel might be best placed to take on the entire Mavanian army.
I wonder where he got that.
Malachi, your thoughts?
Aaron joins the group as well underneath the behind the barricade and just says, "Have you got a camp nearby, or where are you sheltering from these people that are attacking you?"
Yes, we do have a camp. It is across the plains. If you look out before you, and if you do look out to the east of where you're standing, through the fallen trees, over these grasslands, they do reach for hundreds, if not thousands of feet. And you can see there is another forest around 2,000 to 2,500 feet away from you to the east. And he points, not with his wing, but with his feathered fingers, This is where we have to get to. We have to escape. We have to bring the supplies back. We have medicine. We have families who need it. Maybe you noticed when you were in the plains there are certain trails through the grasses which are safer than others, which are more sheltered. Did you see such a thing?
I can't speak for all of us, but I can only speak for myself as we were a little too busy fighting the Tengu that were trying to kill us.
He slaps you. Idiot!
What?
Did you just get bird slapped?
I thought Jason
We're
would
level
react.
4.
Jason didn't react. Jason didn't even deign him with a response. He's like,
No,
I was,
yes,
I was
that.
trying to think of something. I was frantically like thinking, oh, what have I got here? But
I'm just going to stay stoic. Although, Jason, I've got to ask you actually, were you saying stoic ox?
Stoic.
stoic.
Stoic, isn't it? Isn't it stoic?
I've been obsessed with Jason's pronunciation of
It's such
stoic.
That's not the
Stoic
word,
ox.
is it?
No, it's not. No.
Stoic.
Stoic.
I don't know why no one picked up on it. When he said it the first time, I'm like, have I been saying it wrong for years?
No.
Or has Jason
No,
got it?
I just thought it was so rhythmic and musical
It was.
and
Yeah.
poetic and beautiful that I thought, I'm not
Yeah.
going to say anything. I really enjoy it. Stoic.
Stoic.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know where that's come from, but
I like it.
That ox.
It's now canon. It's now canon.
yeah.
Listen, I'm not sure why you're here, but we have to get back to our camp. Perhaps your eyes seem keener than ours. You have magic and abilities beyond our own. If you were willing to spend a little time to help us plot the best course back to our camp, that would be incredibly useful to us. And the birds all around in the trees go, oh, ah, oh, oh, oh. No, that's monkeys.
Monkeys.
Craig has gone insane.
That's what you get with 15 NPCs, you just panic. It's just too many Tengu. What is the plural of Tengu? Is it Tengai?
Tengu.
No,
Just
Tengai.
Tengu.
It's got to be Tengai.
10 guys.
10 guys. Hi, guys.
If you'll be willing, fucking hell. Oh, 8 minutes in. If you were willing to spend some time to help us plot a course, then it would help us get back to safety. Would you be willing to help us?
It would be a pleasure, Mr. Connery. You're not meant to call him out.
I love how we both went on exactly the same thing.
The name's Knack. Scornak.
Okay, so looking out across the field,
Yes.
is it difficult terrain that we can see leading to the destination? Or is it quite smooth trails from...
No, the grass is quite deep. So when you were out there, I didn't rule it as difficult terrain. It's quite flat, the grasslands, but there are peaks and troughs, and there are clearly areas and little paths and funnels, maybe used by people, little gullies, and you can see that some of them are deeper than others. And had the combat gone on for much longer, I maybe would have sort of interfered with some difficult terrain and stuff. But the reality is that, yes, it would be greater difficult terrain if they're trying to convoy with this many people and to stay hidden. There are clearly paths throughout the grass which are going to be safer for them, in theory, or it's what they're telling you, than if they were not.
Okay, so Aaron thinks that he can be of help in getting these people and their supplies to safety. So he turns to his compatriots and says, I believe that I can assist them. I think I can lead the way. I have a spell I think that will help us out here. I think we're exposed if we stay here, so maybe we could help them get there as soon as possible and just regroup at camp and just get our bearings and see where we go from here. Is everyone okay with that?
Whilst I agree, if we could take just a short time just to treat some wounds, I've taken a few hits myself, and I would not like to be caught short in the middle of a field in this current condition. 10 minutes just to treat some wounds would be greatly appreciated.
Aaron says to Squarnak, me and my allies just need to heal up, so if you just give us a few minutes and then we'll help you make your journey. And
Yes,
then,
of course.
Aaron's going to pull out his healer's tools and start treating wounds on himself, knowing that I think Lupin, you've got your own, haven't you?
Yeah.
And as Lupin is healing himself, Malachi puts his arm around Lupin and starts singing, "You're beautiful, that's for sure. You'll never ever fade. You're lovely, but it's not for sure that I won't ever change. And though my love is rare, and though my love is true, I'm like a bird. No, don't run away.
I'm like,
Please don't fly away. I know where your soul is. I know where your home is. And cast Soothe.
Can I choose not to take this healing?
Araden himself descends from the clouds and sits on Malachi.
comes back from the dead.
Cast Soothe at 5th level.
I didn't know where it was going until we got to I'm like a bird, and the payoff was reasonable. So, yeah.
My favourite thing is seeing Chris's eyes dart over to the lyrics. So Aaron's going to roll treat wounds on himself. That's a 24, but that's only 9 points of healing, but I'll take it.
So, Malachi, you did cast Soothe amongst whatever was happening there. The 43 healing, who's that for?
That was for Lupin as I put my hand around him, even though he tried to run off.
So Aaron treats wounds, but only gets 9 points of healing.
And while Malachi is sort of singing at him, Lupin is sort of trying to concentrate on actually treating himself.
Okay.
Craig, are you happy for me to use natural medicine and get the +2 for being in nature?
Absolutely.
Yep.
You couldn't be more in nature.
I was going to say, yeah, I figured as much, but wanted to at least ask.
Could you be any more nature?
Too soon.
Not now, 6 weeks later, so...
Yeah, good point. Well made. That is 26, and that is, again, 9 points of healing.
Ooh. All right, so we do a bit of healing. Everyone kind of healed up, happy with where they are with the healings?
Certainly for
Yeah, I think
now,
so.
I think that's
Sure.
good
Yeah,
enough.
we'll do till we get back to camp. Yeah.
So Skornak has told you that, you need to kind of try and help them plot the safest route through these grass panes. Mechanically, what that means is that there are some checks you can do to try and discern the best route. And I'd like you to kind of maybe think about how your character would do that themselves. Mechanically, there's going to be perception check or nature check or survival checks or planes lore check. There's no fiendish lore here, Commander, before you ask. But anything relevant or ways that you can improve your interpretation of what they have to do, I will take into account. But then once you're ready to make those rolls, they will be rolled in secret, and I will then take those results.
So Aaron begins casting a spell that he used a while ago when we were back in the Grand Bazaar, but it failed. It was when we were trying to find Derail, and he thinks that actually this is a really appropriate situation to use it, and he casts Wanderer's Guide. So as a reminder, this spell means that I can call upon the Beyond to guide my route. So when I cast the spell, I choose a destination. In this case, it'll be the camp, and it will give me an inspired route to that destination, allowing me and any allies who travel with me overland to reduce the movement penalty from difficult terrain by half for the duration, as long as we don't deviate from the inspired route. So I'm imagining that when he casts this, he can almost see, and maybe only he can see it, but a small kind of beaming trail kind of heading off across the plains, leading to the camp. And I don't know if, again, with this particular role, if the difficult terrain and I think this is more to do with how long it takes you to get over difficult terrain. So it has a practical application in that instance, but, maybe this would give some sort of bonus or to my rolls.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to say that you can make your check, this secret check. You can choose perception, nature, or survival. And I'm going to give you a +4 to your roll because you've used the Wanderer's Guide spell.
Marvelous. So perception, nature, or...
Perception, nature, or survival.
Okay, I'm going to roll perception.
Okay.
Secret roll.
Okay, thank you. The roll is noted. Let's go to Wilhelm. What's he doing to help?
He's gonna stay a bit behind the group. Not too far, just making sure that he's sort of the last one in the marching order, whilst also keeping an eye out for any dangers. He he also is going to try to cover the group's tracks so that if they were to be followed, it would be harder to read their tracks.
Okay, so are you planning to travel with these guys? Is that your plan?
I mean, I thought that was the plan to sort of escort them to their camp.
That is certainly an option, but I think his inference was that they just need some help plotting the course. They grateful. You've obviously appeared to them. You don't have to travel with them, but they're suggesting that they need to get there. They're asking you to find the best path. They're not necessarily asking you to travel with them, but that is, of course, an option open to you as well.
Oh, right. I thought that was the thing that we were doing. Just walk. If we're not walking with them, we can cut that last part out, because then Wilhelm is gonna, while Aaron is casting the spell and sort of talking to Mr. Squawks over there, Wilhelm is gonna go to Lupin and quietly kind of lean in and say, didn't I just kind of 10 minutes ago say something about being careful with dabbling in fate in this part and the implications of the big sky? I think we're already in neck deep.
Yes, it would appear that that things have somewhat taken a turn in the short time since we've arrived. It's I think our best bet may be to find camp and to find some rather more permanent shelter and perhaps reassess where we go from there.
Yeah, my thinking was that we would just go with them to the camp, because we're in the middle of nowhere as far as we know. So
yeah, that's what I thought as well.
So I think let's plan on just going with them, because we're at least have a safe space to stay as a jumping off point, and they can point us towards civilization.
Sure, okay. So Wilhelm, you're going to use the cover track skill whilst you're moving.
Yeah.
In terms of plotting the path, Malachi, is there anything you want to add?
No, I'd probably follow the expert of Aaron.
So follow the expert is an exploration activity. It's where you're following someone who's better at something than you are. And because of their assistance, you can add your level as a proficiency bonus to the associated skill check. Okay, cool. Yeah. And what about Lupin in terms of plotting the path? Is there anything you want to do? Or are you just intending to follow? Tell me what you want to do.
I can help out with a nature check if that's going to...
Absolutely, yeah. If you just want to look out and do a nature check, then go right ahead. That'll be a secret nature check for me, please.
Nature roll, yeah.
Okay. Squarnak comes up to you, Aaron. Have you plotted the best course back to the camp?
I believe so. I've cast a spell, and I believe that it will lead us in the right direction and take us through the path of least resistance. Please bear in mind, no guarantees. My magic is somewhat unpredictable, but I think it's heading in the right way.
Have you found a better path for us? Should we follow you? Is this what you're saying? What should the formation be as we cross the plains?
Yes, I would say that follow me, Malachi, and Lupin, and our comrade Wilhelm will head up the back behind your troop and just try to cover our tracks and make sure that if there is anyone following on ground, we've at least disguised our path.
Very well. We must be cautious. The skies are dangerous. Aaron, we place our trust in you. If we return to our camp, then we will feed you and give you bed for the night.
Just you.
Only you. The others can stay here.
Stop hitting me.
It's like half an hour late, but it works.
Aaron feels a great weight of responsibility on his shoulders at the moment, and he's never really been in this position of having to lead anything, so let alone having to do it for a whole troop of Tengu and his comrades. So he's nervous, but he kind of says, I will try not to let you down. Shall we head off now? You know the skies and the land better than I, but is it safe? You said the skies were dangerous. Do you think we can make tracks now?
I believe we can. If you feel you've picked out the best path for us, using your abilities, rolling the necessary number of checks, then I feel we can make it across the plains. But I would ask you to be wary.
And as they're all gathering up their supplies, Aaron says to Lupin, I'll be focused on the path, Mr. Malice. Maybe perhaps you could keep an eye on the skies, warn us of any danger you might see as we're traveling.
Yes, I may have a tool for the job.
All right, so you roll out and plan out your path, crossing this vast green plain. And just to put it in perspective, you're in this kind of little copse of woods, and before you is this stunning vista, flat as a pancake. But within the ground, with your keen eyes, you spot these little gullies and rivulets and paths and places that you're going to take this little band of Tengu to the other side of the plains. Over to you.
So now that they've gathered up all of their supplies, and I'm guessing they're kind of looking expectantly in Aaron's direction since he's volunteered that he's going to lead the pack, he nervously kind of leans on his staff and says, right, I would say maybe shoulder to shoulder, 2 by 2. Wilhelm, you get to the back, you're going to cover our tracks, and then me and my group are going to lead up the front and be ready in case there's any danger that you might need to hide or fight.
And you hear him, Aaron. So it's not been 2 hours probably since you last cast the true speech spell with the wand. But you hear him in the common tongue of this continent, which of course is Razatlanti or Razatlani, say, "Troops, we must be careful. Aaron is going to guide us through the fields. Pay attention, 2 by 2. Stay together, stay cautious. I'm sure the others will be guarding us, but please be careful. Are we ready?"
You think they're ready?
That's a yes.
This is the exact talk I have once a week with my kids when we're going to the park.
Do it in German though, come on.
I was going to say, what?
Not the common tongue. Would have been, but it's
Everything about this. 2 by 2.
Little family of Mr. Blobbies.
Yes.
Aaron, I'm putting my trust in you. Please do not let us down.
No pressure.
While we're doing it, Malachi will keep up Inspire Courage to ensure that the gaggle stay on track.
Nice.
Right, Aaron, after you. Tell us what we should do, and we shall follow. Find the path. Take us to our safe place.
And Aaron closes his eyes for a second and visualize concentrating on the spell, which is still ongoing. When he opens, he can just see this kind of very thin, traced golden line etching out across the field. And he takes his first tentative steps, turns, and beckons the troop behind him. Follow me! This way!
Troops, on me! Follow Aaron! Stick to the path!
Malachi goes, hop, 2, 3, 4, hop, 2, 3, 4.
So, Aaron, you begin taking your first steps into the plains, using your spell. I don't quite know how that would work, but imagine much like a kind of map on a video game showing the path. I can't think of one right now, where it gives you just a little arrow.
It's like Fable, where you get like
Fable,
you get like a little golden trail.
And so you begin your movement out into the fields. I'm going to move my little bird tokens. And so for those that are following Expert and covering tracks, do we need to attempt any kind of checks or... Come on.
I've just looked it up. Cover tracks is not a check. Anyone tracking us must succeed at a survival check against my survival DC if it is higher than the normal DC to track, which I thought it was stealth related. My survival is plus 14. I
DC
believe,
24.
I believe at our current level, the standard track DC would be higher. But Wilhelm is still going to try.
So you don't roll. It's my creatures against yours. Is that right?
Right, but if the standard track DC for our current level would be higher, then my survival DC is irrelevant.
Okay. So you make your way across, and for the first 50 feet, you sort of picking your way through, and you can see that they're like a little bit uncomfortable behind you. They're not the best followers. There's lots of squawking and clucking, and Skornak is kind of pacing to and from the line through the ravine, following Aaron. He's like, shush, shush. We must be careful. Aaron, can you see the path?
I can. Keep following me.
What is Lupin doing?
Lupin is very much watching the skies. He's sort of trying to keep enough space from the rest of the group that he's not being distracted by the bustling and squawking, and he's very much keeping his head up.
Okay, and are you following with the troop?
Yes, so I'm sort of envisioning maybe Lupin just slightly behind Aeron and sort of ahead of the main group of Tengu.
Okay. If you want to... I've moved the troop into the field. Let's assume that we're kind of out there a little bit. Wilhelm, where are you in relation to the troop?
I'm directly behind the last member of the group, so Wilhelm would be like, 30, maybe 40 feet behind the other party members.
Okay, cool. I'm going to get all of you to roll secret perception checks for me, please. And you proceed another 50 to 100 feet, maybe longer, through this path. Aeron picking it out, seeing the golden route flow to him. Lupin keeping his eyes out. Wilhelm bringing up the rear. What's Malachi doing amongst the throng of these bird people?
He's pushing them along, trying to keep them all together, trying to keep them calm. But obviously the inspired courage is, come on, we can do this, we can do this.
And you keep going further and further into the grass plains. I'm going to roll a couple of dice. My dice.
That's not ominous.
The ones with all the 20s on them.
So you push further into the fields. You're making good progress. You're about halfway there. Everybody roll secret perception checks again for me, please.
Oh.
It's going to be the dreaded brunch golem, isn't it?
Ooh. So the party have rolled their secret perception checks. Gonna tell you, not so good this time. Skornak looking very on edge, as are the rest of the Tengu. As you're pushing through, you're about halfway there, maybe slightly further, pushing forwards. And Aeron, you keep following the path, using this Wanderer's Guide spell, finding the best route through. Wilhelm covering the tracks at the back, Malachi following the expert, Lupin kind of sticking around, just keeping a general eye out. And you push, and you're about 3/4 there. Everybody roll secret perception checks again, please.
Oh, God.
Wilhelm, Aeron, as you get 3/4 of the way across this grassy plain, just as the end is in sight, another 250, 300 feet away is the copse of woods. Potential safety. Wilhelm and Aeron hear from the skies. And suddenly the birds lose a hero point. And you look to the skies, as do all of the Tengu, as does Skornak, and you see 5 dark shadows begin descending towards you as they flap their awful wings and they get closer and closer and closer. I'm going to give you a chance to do something very quickly.
Aeron instinctively, seeing how close we are and leading up the pack, just shouts out, "Quickly, we can hustle! We can haste! We can make it!" And he starts running towards the goal, following the path. He just thinks, I've just got to follow this trail, and he continues to run and hopes to shout and encourage the others to run and keep track with him.
Roll a diplomacy check, Matt, to see if you can control the terror within the Tengu.
Okay. Oh, that looks pretty good.
34 is good.
60,
they managed to kind of stay on track. They start following you. Skornak is trying to lead them. Malachi, what are you doing?
Same. Carrying on. Hustling along with Aeron. Come on, come on.
Okay, roll diplomacy check, please.
I'm good at diplomacy. 32.
32 is also very good. Wilhelm, what are you doing at the back? You've got one chance to do something.
Looking up and seeing those creatures, he sort of instinctively abandons whatever he was doing and starts rushing toward Aeron. And while he does that, he pulls the hood of his elvish cloak up and becomes invisible.
Becomes invisible. Okay, would you like to move yourself on the map, please?
Yes.
Okay, Lupin, did I ask what you were doing?
No, Lupin will draw his pistol from inside his cloak and will grab the amulet.
And Aeron, as you're trying to hustle these birds, Malachi giving them some incentive, inspiring courage the entire way as you're hurrying through and pushing these Tengu to their limits. They're panting, everyone's scared, they're looking up as these birds, you can see these 5 dark shadows swirling in the clouds above, and then instantly they disappear. And then immediately they reappear.
Oh, God.
And you are surrounded by 5 creatures. Oh,
They're so fucking horrifying.
4 of them look like this. Jason, tell us what this one looks like.
That looks like a bondage vulture.
Yep.
A dire Tengu.
Yeah.
God.
And these ones appear at ground level right next to you. And there is one that is hovering in the air just above you. And he looks like this.
I actually got a shiver up my spine looking at that.
What does it look like?
It's sort of a vulture with almost human proportions of its arms and legs.
Really buff thighs.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
it's like Man-Bat from Batman,
kind
isn't
of,
it?
kind of, but with a bird head and sort of this whole, I don't know, gothic art style going on. It's scary to say the least.
It's really scary. It's got big vulture-like wings, enormous talons, green eyes, and they swoop down and scream as this band of avian creatures attacks you. Roll for initiative!
Come on, there we go.
Call out your numbers.
That is a natural 16 on the die for a 34 total.
9 for 30. Lupin?
Ah, that's a natural 3 for 23.
If I were to use stealth because I'm invisible, would I get a bonus for that?
You wouldn't get a bonus, but you can use your stealth DC for initiative.
I'm going to use
So
perception.
it's not going to make you act any quicker, I wouldn't say.
All right, then. That's a natural 12 for 34.
You ready for combat, boys?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, it is combat time. We are in combat mode. Initiative has been rolled. It is round 1. It is my creature's turn. It is the awful looking creature, the big boy. He's kind of floating in the air above you. Everyone, he sees you at the front of the pack, and he's going to cast a spell at you. Here comes the attack roll. As a little bit of flame comes out towards you. 34 to hit.
34 is a hit.
Okay, and this fire shoots out and does 27 points
hell, that was a
of
good roll.
fire damage.
And as the fire comes towards Aaron, anyone nearby just sees his eyes go kind of white with terror. And as soon as the flames are dissipated, he kind of steels himself again, but the fire is terrifying to him.
I'm sure it is. So he casts this fire spell at you, and then he flies off to the back of the pack. It is the creature's turn that is right next to Lupin, and this creature is going to let out this ungodly, stunning screech as it screams at you. Let's just find the ability.
Is this an auditory trait or a
Yes,
sonic trait? Excellent.
It is.
Is this inhaled?
It's not inhaled.
Stunning
Hopefully it will-
screech.
Add my +1 to this. Because I'm well versed.
And he casts it right in the middle of you. So everybody is going to need to roll a fortitude save, please. Even if you're invisible.
37.
Do I count as a non-demon creature, though?
Yes, you do.
Shit.
Ooh, a natural 18 for 38.
Okay, 2 crit successes.
I'm gonna have to ask, does this creature have the fiend trait? It's relevant for my warding tattoo.
It does.
All right, in that case, I'm gonna get a free +1 to AC and saving throws against every effect and spell they cast.
If it's a fiend, is that right?
Resistance 2 to spells cast by fiends and magical attacks by fiends. Ah, all right then.
Is this a fear effect as well?
No.
Dang.
Wait, is this an interact action of any kind? No, it isn't, right?
No, it's not an interact action, Kimon.
All right. Still, Wilhelm's gonna channel the energy. Bless you. Channel the energy of his. Bless you again. Of his warding tattoo, and he's gonna receive a +1 on his saving throw for that.
Okay. It's against the stunning screech.
Oof! I'm gonna re-roll that one.
You passed.
Oh, right then.
No, Wilhelm, 22 is a fail against this
Yeah, I'm gonna
creature's thing,
re-roll
but because it has the incapacitation trait
Oh,
and it is lower level than you, that would push it up to a success.
which would make it a crit success
Which
with
would
my
make it a crit
juggernaut.
success. So no effect from the creature.
Nice.
With its final action, it's going to raise back its big head. Now, all of these creatures, just for the listeners, these bird-like creatures are large. So they're much bigger than our heroes. Jason, he rears up his head and comes down. You know what time it is. It's beak time!
Oh, no!
And it's a natural 4 for 27.
That is a miss.
Okay, it is the next creature's turn. And this one is going to start pecking at the Tengu and rolls a natural 19.
No way.
Absolutely destroys it. And that creature is now dead.
Poor Dave the Tengu, we hardly knew ye.
Dave is dead. And then he attacks again at the second creature. He attacks again at one of the second Tengu at the back of the pack with his beak. Goes to bite him and gets a critical hit and deals 60 points of damage.
No,
and that
Spencer.
is one more. That's dead. And then with his final action, he attacks the final Tengu at the back of the pack with his beak again with a natural 6. That is a miss, so doesn't take out another one. It is round 1, and it is, for the first time, Wilhelm Krongard's turn.
As Wilhelm has the same initiative as Aaron, he's going to wait until Aaron has done his turn.
Okay, very well. It is Aaron's turn.
So this creature comes down and breathes fire on him, or shoots a fire spell at him, and then flies off. And seeing all of these people and his comrades just surrounded, he turns around and panics, and then just whips out his arms and says, "Stop!" and casts a 6th level slow spell.
Oh, fuck
Oh, yes.
So this targets all of your creatures, so roll a fortitude save for all of them, DC 30.
I hate this so much.
Doesn't even have the incapacitation trait.
Right.
So strong.
Okay, so we're going to roll it for the 4 normal creatures first. Okay. One is a pass. First one's a pass. Critical pass and a pass. One more needs to roll it. Here we go. There's a pass. And the final roll
There's some good rolls.
on the big guy is a pass. So there's all pass and 1 crit pass.
On the passes, they're going to be slowed for 1 round. Slowed 1 for 1 round. Did no one fail? God.
No one failed.
Okay.
You still took like 4 actions away from them. Still very good.
Yeah. Okay, so Aaron casts that spell. He has 1 action remaining. He is going to try to recall knowledge on the big boy who breathed fire on him.
Okay, that's going to be a religion check. Secret.
Ah, okay. There we go.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. That is rolled. I can tell you that this creature... Ooh, I'll give you 1 piece of useful information.
What do we think? What would we like to know about this guy?
I wouldn't worry too much about weaknesses because I can exploit those through exploit vulnerability. Maybe it'd be useful for you in particular to know its low save. So
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. Okay. I'd like to know what this creature's lowest save is, please.
Its lowest save is its fortitude save.
Do I know the creature's name? As in, not like Dave or whatever.
I will tell you that the creature is known as a Hurlilu.
A Hurlilu.
Hurlilu. It is a fiend,
Hurlilu.
and it is a Lilu, Lilu. These are evil fiends who can fly, and I will stop there.
Hurlilu. Aaron shouts to the others, "It's a Hurlilu. They're quite big, but their fortitude is weak. Target them that way."
Wilhelm, round 1, your turn.
Wilhelm draws his rapier for his first action. And for his second action, he's gonna raise his guard and he's gonna be entering his dueling stance. And for his last action, he's gonna try to stab the creature right in front of him out of his invisibility. So it's gonna be flat-footed for this one.
Yep.
That's a snagging strike. Oof! With a 41 to hit.
Critical hit. Obviously.
It doesn't get boring. It doesn't ever get boring. Ooh, my Bane rune even triggers. Nice. That's 49 damage, and I assume it doesn't wear any armor.
It's not wearing any armor. No, it's a nude bird.
Do I?
Nude birds. Oh.
Do I melt its feathers?
Yeah, you melt some feathers.
Nice. And as Wilhelm becomes visible, sort of while piercing this creature's flesh, there's this ever so slight glow in Wilhelm's eyes, and that's his turn.
Okay, thank you, Wilhelm. It is the creature's turn that's to the south of the party, and you see this creature, this one here that's just to the south of where all the Tengus are. It begins dancing, and you see its wings rise and fall in a rhythmic fashion. Its feet start clicking, its talons start mashing, its beak starts and begins doing this dance, and nothing happens. But then the creature to the north of the pack also begins dancing. And you see, and they begin flapping their wings, and you feel this energy kind of burst out of them. I'm going to need reflex saves from all of you, please.
34 for Malachi.
Pass.
Ooh, that's a 29 for Lupin. It sat on that natural 20 for a long time.
Fail.
That is a 33.
Okay, and Wilhelm got a 29. So 29 is a fail, and the other two of you pass, and you're going to take this electricity damage. That's 3d12. Oh, not great numbers. 15 points of electricity. So if you passed, obviously.
7.
Yeah.
If you passed?
7.
Is that a spell?
No, not a spell.
Wait, I'm gonna have to check something. You gain resistance 2 to spells cast by fiends and magical attacks by fiends. Would this
It's
be
magical, I guess.
Magical attack.
Well, so the traits of the ability are divine, electricity, evocation, manipulate, move.
It seems like a
that's
magical attack.
Evocation,
Yeah.
yeah. Evocation is a school of magic.
So yeah.
Alright, so I only take 13 damage. Woohoo.
Okay.
Glad we
Thank
cleared
you.
that up.
Every little helps.
All right, Lupin, you're up. Round 1 still.
Lupin will spend his first action looking at this this creature in front of him, and will attempt to exploit vulnerability.
This guy to the one that's right
The
next
one
to you.
directly in front of him, yeah, the one that Wilhelm nearly blew to pieces
Okay, well,
earlier.
you clearly have line of sight on this bad boy.
I would hope so. Ugh, that's a natural 4.
That is a success.
Cool. So I recall an important fact about the creature: learn its highest weakness or one of its highest weaknesses if it has multiple with the same value, but not its other weaknesses, resistances, or
Do you get told
abilities.
that, or I need to tell you that?
So is basically it just gives it to me already. So is I can see that its highest weakness is cold iron at 10. And it doesn't give me anything. My personal antithesis bonus damage would be 8, so I will obviously take the weakness.
Okay.
Weakness. So is Lupin will shout to the other, they're weak to cold iron!
Oh shit, I only brought silver.
And will flip, as a free action, will flip his implement over to his mirror, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a duplicate of Lupin appears here, directly opposite Wilhelm on the other side of this creature.
Okay, so we replicate Lupin. The duplicate goes to the north of the creature.
Yes. Yeah. TM.
Okay. Is that turn?
No, and then for final action, Lupin will aim his pistol and will fire at the creature. Ugh, natural
Close enough.
7, that's not good. 29 to hit.
That's a hit.
Ooh.
Lovely. That is 17 points of damage. And that
Can I
is-
ask you a question, Lupin?
You can.
Is taking the amulet out or any of that
That's a free action.
a manipulate action or an interact action?
That is a good question. I would... 1 second as I'm checking the feat. I would presume it probably is.
Exploit vulnerability has the manipulate trait.
Exploit vulnerability has... Oh, yeah, I suppose, yeah, because I'm rifling through various bits and pieces. So, yeah. Yeah, that would have the...
Okay. then this creature is going to take its attack of opportunity against you.
That's not possible. Only I have that.
Oh, that is a 40 to hit.
Oh my god.
That is.
How are you off guard?
I'm guessing
why are
these
you-
creatures have
Reach.
10 feet of reach.
Oh,
Yeah, so
yeah.
so I'm flanked. So
Oh,
that's a
right,
critical
I see.
hit.
Wilhelm standing next to Lupin,
Fucking hell.
sort of shoulder tackles the creature's beak just hard enough so that the crit turns into a normal hit, just so that it just barely misses any vital parts of Lupin.
Okay. 29 points of damage.
Yes. Thank you, Wilhelm. Ugh.
Yes.
Good stuff.
And that is turn.
Thank you. Malachi at the bottom of round 1 with a terrible initiative roll. You are kind of in the throng. You are kind of amongst the Tengu. You are surrounded by 2 of these creatures. What do you do?
Typical Malachi will tap on his Kitar and cast Dirge of Doom, dropping his inspired courage for a rather more Nirvana-esque style roar out of his mouth.
So just talk us through Dirge of Doom quickly, Chris.
It's a 30-foot emanations, and they're all frightened 1, and they can't reduce that frightened value below 1 while they remain in the area. And my imagining is that he is singing a song so horrendous that they want to be nowhere near him. So that would be my first action. It's a composition cantrip, so I can only have 1 at a time, so I have to drop Inspire Courage. And I'm going to then cast a cantrip that is called Phase Bolt from out of that same Kitar at the bird in front of me to the north
Okay.
for a 35.
That's a hit.
17 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Is that turn, Malachi?
That's my turn, sir.
It is the top of round 2, and it is my creature's turn. It is the big guy's turn, who has flown to the kind of southwest of the birds. He is slowed 1, but you can see he is far bigger than the rest of them, and he reaches out with his beak and strikes down against the Tengu and hits and deals 10 points of damage. That is going to kill that creature. And then with its second action, it's going to start picking off the other. It's going to use its talon this time and strike out.
Oof.
Oh, with a critical hit against the Tengu in this party.
No, Feathery Barry!
Doesn't kill it, though.
Hang in there!
He is no longer slowed 1. So it is the creature's turn that's now flanked by Lupin, Wilhelm, and Lupin. He's surrounded by all 3. You see him cast a spell which would trigger, I believe. Let me just check what traits it's got. Somatic and verbal.
Yep.
Okay, if you want to take that attack of opportunity, he's going to cast this spell, Wilhelm.
Yes, I do want to. The creature is off guard.
Yep, he's also frightened at the moment.
Ooh, natural 3, that's 28.
28 is a hit.
That's, not a lot. That's 15 points of damage.
Hey, thank you, Wilhelm. And the creature disappears and then reappears to the south near to Aeron. Okay, it is my other creature's turn. This one is slowed 1 as...
Sorry,
Yep.
sorry, mate. Just 1 second. I just had a moment there of realization. The damage that Lupin did last turn, did the system automatically put the weakness on?
Oh, good question. Yeah, let's
Sorry,
have a
is
little
it-
look.
Yeah.
I can tell you, Jason, that
Yep.
the creature took 27 points
Yes.
of damage.
Okay, that's fine. I'm used to adding it on. I'm used to adding it on for personal antithesis, but this is the first time I've fought something with a mortal
Sure.
weakness with Lupin, so
Yep.
just wanted to check. Cool.
And this creature then flaps over towards you, Lupin. And with its second action, its only action, raises back its big old beak and
Is
strikes
that
down.
That's the reflection, isn't it? The new
Yep,
reflection.
the reflection. 27 to hit.
Yes. No, that doesn't hit. Sorry, I lied.
Okay, that's its turn. Is he still frightened, Chris? Whilst
Yeah. It's a sustained thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's that creature's turn. That means we are on to Aaron.
Aaron is looking around at the carnage of the battlefield and just seeing him and the party surrounded by these monstrous, enormous creatures on all sides, and panic is starting to grip him, and he's just thinking in his head that everyone is going to die. It's gonna happen again to me. Everybody is going to die. And as he's panicking and lost in his thoughts, suddenly a red portal erupts in front of him, and instinctively he reaches his hand into it and pulls out a Harrow card. Can you draw me a Harrow card, please?
Oh, you know I can. It's going to take me 20 minutes, but you absolutely know I can. Come on, have you got your deck there?
Pick a card. Any card.
Okay, stop.
That's the desert.
The desert. And what suit is the desert?
That's the suit of shields.
Shield. So can you just hold the card up for me so I can see it? So Aaron pulls out the desert card, which is like this sphinx pointing in what is that? In like a moonlit desert, is it?
Yeah.
And as he pulls it out from this portal, he then visualizes and concentrates on the power of its suit, and he shoots a beam from the card at Lupin and grants him a boon. The target gains temporary hit points equal to twice the spell's level. This is a level 6 spell called Invoke
Very
the
nice.
Harrow, and it's one of my focus bloodline spells related to my sorcerer type. So basically, whatever card I draw as part of this spell, there are all these different kind of boons and banes depending on whether I use it on an ally or an enemy. And they all have, there's so many different effects. I'm not going to go into all of them now.
Okay, so that's
definitely come up
24
later.
temporary hit points for Lupin.
Yep.
Amazing.
Those hit points will last for 1 minute. And that is just 2 of my actions. And for my third
I have a question before
Yes.
you continue.
Is that an interact?
Jason, give yourself 24 temporary hit points.
It would be 12 hit points, wouldn't it? It's twice the spell's level. Level 6 spell.
12 hit points, yeah.
Matty, so question. This spell that you've just cast, does it have the manipulate trait?
It doesn't.
Is it somatic?
It has, yes, it has somatic and verbal. Sorry, they were abbreviated, so I couldn't see it. Sorry. Yeah, so it does have somatic and verbal, which it makes sense because he's literally manipulating, reaching through the portal, pulling them
I
out.
hate to tell you, but the creature has an attack of opportunity.
That's okay, because I'm stood next to Wilhelm.
It gets 2.
Oh,
And I have
okay.
to tell you that if one of these critically hits, all of that will be in vain.
Is that creature the one that Lupin exploited vulnerability with? I think it is,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yep. So Aaron, here comes. I just want to check. Okay, it's a talon attack. It's horrible bird-like claws. Here comes the first attack. That is a 35 to hit.
Yep, that's a hit.
Here's your damage. That's really good. 25 points of damage.
Ouch.
Here comes the second talon attack.
As that first attack comes down, the version of Lupin that stood next to Wilhelm, quick as a flash, reaches out with his amulet and flashes it, and a flash of blue light comes between Aaron and the creature, and it reduces. Hang on, it's my level +2, so that's 14 points of damage. So he only takes 11.
Okay, so give yourself 14 hit points back, Aaron.
Thank you.
How does it get 2 attacks?
It has a special ability, Kimon, where it can make 2 attacks of opportunity.
Alright. Because if it's 2 separate reactions, they can't trigger on the same trigger.
I appreciate that, and I will thank you for questioning me, and we will have words after the recording.
It's exactly the same thing that Wilhelm has. That's why I was asking.
I'm going to move on as though Kimon has not spoken. I've been prepping for this for a week. What I will say is that the creature that attacked Aaron is flying. He's at ground level, but he is flying. I will tell you that.
Yeah, I was going to say, is I'm guessing mechanically what it's doing is it's one reaction, but maybe that one reaction is giving it 2 strikes.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay.
Right, Aaron. So it doesn't interrupt your really cool thing, which I'm really pleased about. You've got one action left, I think? Or...
Yes, I do have one action remaining, and I am going... It's Wilhelm next. So Aaron is going to put his hand on Wilhelm's shoulder and cast Guidance.
I feel guided.
And it is Wilhelm's turn.
Okay. Wilhelm is standing there alone. So this creature over here, the sort of boss monster.
To the southwest of the encounter, yep.
Right, on the opposite side of the Kesnan people. So it's no longer flying up in the air, right? Because it used melee.
This creature here is 20 feet in the air.
Does it have a 20-foot reach?
It's got a 15-foot reach.
Right, okay, got it. I should have packed that longbow. All right. Wilhelm sort of looks around, but then focuses again on the creature that he attacked first with that little glow in his eyes and sprints toward it and steps in between the creature and Aaron, trying to square up to the thing so that it attacks him, and tries to attack it with a snagging strike.
Okay, go for it.
That is with guidance.
Oh, it's a natural one! No!
I will use my hero point because I am not in the mood to have fun right now.
We are playing the new dying rules, so.
That's a natural 14 for 40.
Critical hit.
Nice.
Oh, big roll here. Big roll.
Yeah, it's good.
That's going to be 52 points of damage.
Certainly hurts it. Yep.
And for his last action... I've never had a spare action before. I got to think about this. For his last action, Wilhelm is
just attacking.
Going to try to feint the creature.
Talk us through feint.
Yes, feint is normally a deception check against the creature's perception DC.
Right.
To try and make it flat-footed.
Okay.
But Wilhelm, with his specialized training in dueling and fake-outs, he has a feat that's called overextending feint.
Okay.
Which is that he goads the enemy into overextending their next attack by sort of faking a false opening and creating an opportunity for the opponent to strike, but he is actually prepared. So he's going to try a normal feint check, but instead of giving the enemy the flat-footed or off-guard condition, he gives them a -2 circumstance penalty to their next attack roll against him.
Okay.
Ooh.
And if it's a
just to him or to all allies?
Just to the targeted creature, and just to Wilhelm.
Okay.
And if it's a crit success, the enemy gets a -2 to every attack roll against Wilhelm.
So it's a deception check against my perception DC. I can tell you the DC is 29.
I do think it calculates automatically, but that's good to know. That's a natural 20!
That is a critical success.
So not only does it think that it has me right where it wants me, it also has a -2 to every single attack roll it makes against Wilhelm.
Shame we're going to kill it before then.
That's turn.
It is the bird creature's turn that's kind of hovering ground level around the pack, and it is going to cast a spell. And you see the bird, this horrible creature, you don't just see one of them, you see 4 of them floating, and it bites down at one of the creatures with its awful beak and hits for 23 points of damage. That is its turn. It's the creature to the north that's kind of near the 2 Lupins. It can reach Lupin with its beak, and it's going to strike down at you, Lupin.
Which one?
The south one with a 24 to hit.
That is a miss.
And then goes for a claw for the second attack. 29 to hit.
That is also a miss.
And then goes again with its third claw. Also misses, but it is now Lupin's turn.
Okay, so as Lupin's turn begins, is the northernmost Lupin blinks out of existence.
Yep.
So there is now just the one that is close to the pack of Tengu. Lupin then very carefully steps away from that southern of the two northern birds, if that makes any sense. There are two to the north. There is one that's slightly further south. So Lupin steps away and then reloads his pistol and then takes a shot at the bird that Wilhelm has
The
fainted.
bird to the south, the one that's near
Yes.
to Wilhelm and Aaron.
Yes.
Okay, roll to hit.
Ooh, hello. Natural 16, 37.
Critical hit.
Nice.
Nice indeed.
That is
Wow.
a 57 points of damage.
And the bird explodes in a plume of feathers and is very dead in front of you.
No fly zone.
He made the fucking list.
All right, Lupin.
That's his
That's
turn.
your turn. Okay, Malachi, you are dirging. You are kind of surrounded by Tengu that are still living and plenty of these big bird creatures.
Malachi continues to play his rather dirgy Nirvana track and then looks over to Aaron and says, are you all right over there, Aaron?
No, I'm not.
Well, take my Dirge of Doom and we'll turn it into a little lullaby for you, and starts pounding a little bit more dirgy out and tries to soothe you with his Dirge of Doom. For the intents and purposes, he is casting Soothe while also...
Very good, because as you cast Soothe, the creature that is right next to you is going to take its 2 attacks of opportunity. Here comes the first one. 33 to hit.
is a hit.
Okay, here's your damage. That's
Oh,
27 points of damage. Here's your second attack of opportunity. Oh,
Just a hit.
35 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Low damage. 17 points of damage. But you do manage to get off the spell.
Soothe goes off. And...
Oh, 1 second, Malachi. Oh, no, the southern creature is also going to be able to take 2 attacks of opportunity against you.
Surely I get a bit of cover with all of these bodies around.
You do, but when the DM rolls a natural 20, doesn't matter.
Silence and misery.
But here comes the critical damage against Malachi.
Malachi has just cast Suicide. At
Oh,
6
it's not bad. Another 42 points of damage, and that will disrupt the Soothe spell, but it still has one more attack. Natural 16 for 36 to hit.
What's going on?
18 points of damage. That's a mix of slashing and evil. So Malachi, you cast the Soothe spell, but it fails because you got critically hit by these 2 birds that you are surrounded by. I believe that is turn.
Yeah.
How many hit points you got left, Malachi?
Hang on a second. Hang on. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
You get to choose when you use your reaction, I guess.
Yes.
Good.
So
Thank
could you just choose not to do that?
That would be very nice.
I mean, it was an action
Really
to sustain Dirge of Doom, and then you've decided, because you're a prick, to do it on my 5th level spell. Cheers, lovely, bye, thank you.
Technically, he wouldn't even have the opportunity to attack you with your Dirge of Doom because it doesn't have the somatic
Yeah.
shit with it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So get fucked, Chris.
I was waiting. Malachi,
I'm sorry, Malachi.
it's the top
I
of
didn't
round
mean that.
3. It is my creature's turn. My creature that's 25 feet in the air flies over to here, and he is going to cast a spell. And that spell is going... Yep, that's going to get Wilhelm, Aaron, and Lupin. I want everybody to roll reflex saves, please.
Warding tattoo.
And his buddy as well, does it hit him?
Well, he's dead, so it
Oh,
does,
he's dead.
yeah.
Yep.
Oof.
Oh, it's a natural 1 from
That
Lupin.
is a natural 1, but I am going to hero point that roll.
Oh, I saw the 1.
The 39 for me.
Ooh, that's 38.
That is a natural 18 for 39 on the reroll.
Okay, so that's 3 passes on the reflex save. That means you'll take half damage of this.
Oh my god.
Half damage of 51 points of electricity damage. That's 25
Am I glad I rerolled
points.
that?
Yeah.
At least it's not invisible this time.
Yeah.
So it's my creature's turn, and he's going to swoop down within 10 feet of Aeron because he's got 10 feet of reach with his beak. And he rolls a 35 to hit.
That's a hit.
Oh, and deals 28 points of damage, piercing and evil.
The bird pierces into Aaron's flesh, and Lupin, you see the beak tear open his robes and his skin, and he falls down. He is dying.
Aeron goes down.
He has 0 hit points.
And the curtain comes down.
Silence. Silence from the group.
You've been listening to Describe Your Kill, The Death of Destiny. Find out more at describeyourkill.com. Thank you to Paizo, Michael Gelfi, Creator Chord, Sirenscape, Kevin McLeod, Foundry, and Sigil Services. Get all the links on our website. This podcast uses trademarks and or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com.